Hey yo, what up guys, it is your lad DJ Wacky and I'm back with another FIFA 20 video. And to be honest, it's not an unusual vid. It's one of those days for me where I just need to get a few things off my chest. It's going to be a rant really at the same time. Just going to be completely honest out there because this is not something that I'm a bit of a fan of. And I should have kind of spotted it, but it's hit a bit more of a home ground now that the Premier League SBC was dropped over the weekend. And that is just being honest, that the league SBCs that they have done this year has been absolutely shocking and terrible for the player selections that they offer you and the value that you have to put in down just to get hold of. So I've got footage over here on the background from yesterday when I was actually streaming this on Twitch, and to be fair, I spent a lot of money. I ended up choosing Max Meyer, and I think it's just because of the 99 aggression that stood out over there. But I think I spent about a must of at least 400k on completing this SBC. I've just checked today on Footbin and it's around 260 to 300k to complete this for an 84 rated Max Meyer or an 84 rated 4, I don't know, whoever the centre back is. Both just don't stand out that well on a team really. They're not at this time of the year as well. They just look shocking, and being fair, at best they're going to be substitutes for most players who do obviously invest in the game a lot. I know for a fact when it was dropped on Saturday, when I checked it on FUT bin, that the squad builder at that point was marketed at 500 to 600k. And yes, there is a spike rise when it does drop in, but the fact that it's almost gone down to half just shows how the community feels about this, that this squad builders are not worth investing in because of several different factors. So firstly, 84 rated players, it seems to be a common theme throughout all the leagues that you look at all of. Literally, if you could compare it with every single league, most of them have got 84 rated players to choose from throughout, with the exception with one having an 83 and the Saudi league somehow having the highest rated player at 85. So that in itself is a problem because the longevity of them cards are not going to be great, especially that you've dropped in Team of the Year nominee and Footmas cards just come out not long ago to obviously help boost up, I say, standard staple players. The second thing is the packs that you get hold of in completing most of these squad builders are quite useless. I mean, there's only like one mega pack in completing one of the SBCs in Premier League, and that's the most expensive one, Manchester City. So you're kind of spending more bucks in actually completing that than the pack that you get hold of even. So for a bargain value, it's not even worth it. And some of the players that you get hold of really are not going to be longevity staple cards, with the exception with a few. I'll be honest, nothing else stands out for me. But even from the league, such as MLS, with having this Villalba, I don't know how you say that, but 97 pace, he looks furious. But who uses an MLS team? And I believe his nationality is Peruvian. So unless you're going to link him with an icon, it's going to be quite useless really to have onto your team. So these are some of the things that are out there that obviously straight away kind of hits it with a bit of a downer. And I only can think that the reason why EA has done this is just to make it as an even playing field, to give it 84 rated players throughout every single league. So therefore, no different person can complain. So for example, if someone's a bigger fan of using a La Liga team or a Serie A team, they can't just be like, well, why is only Serie A and La Liga squad builders got an 84 rated player whilst Premier League's got an 86 rated player or something like that. And to be honest, right, it's quite fair in saying that firstly, Premier League is probably easiest, by far the most popular league to choose from. Second thing is, some of the leagues as it is itself, there's a lot more builds that you need to do. For example, the MLS, you need to do actually 24 builders to obtain the player. On Serie A, you only need to do on 18, and on obviously Premier League, you got to do 20. So there's already a bit of a gap over there. And some of the leagues only require at max a silver rated team to actually get hold of and complete the full SBCs. So again, that goes down to Saudi League or MLS. They're one of the prime examples where they don't have many gold players. But Premier League does, La Liga does, League One, all these do require a bit more of a gold players. But there's obviously an imbalance in the class difference between each one of them teams. Now, I'm just being real fair with you. You do obviously, whatever you invest, you get hold of. And most players don't need to necessarily require the ratings to make them an OP player. For example, in the first year when they did this, I believe it was FIFA 18, you were only given a selection of one choice, and from Premier League it was Kevin De Bruyne, an absolute incredible player to obviously have on your team, well worth doing the SBC. Last year they made it a bit of a twist, which I love the idea and the concept that they did this, where it was repeatable, the builder. So once you completed it, you obviously can do it once again. And secondly, they gave you the option out of two players. So on Premier League, again, for example, it was Jamie Vardy and Decore. Both great players that you can use throughout the year. And later on, they updated it as well, where every builder got a third player option, and Premier League had Lanzini dropped in. And again, like I said, they evolved it, they made it, they've adapted to it, and they were appealing to the market. So even created a bit more of a different circumstances in the market, because some of the silver players that you can pack were worth 10 to 15k because people required them to actually complete one of the SBCs on leagues. So if I got a Bundesliga player, for example, never heard of him, never going to use him at all, checked him on compare price, he's worth around 8k, and I know the reason why he's worth 8k is because obviously he's one of the tougher ones to obtain, so people can complete the SBC. Fantastic, I can sell it off, I make a bit of money, someone else out there can obviously get the player that they want to get hold of. That is fair, that was absolutely fair to get hold of and do. And at the same time, you get decent packs, not like this premium Electrum pack that I had to bloody open up from completing a Chelsea builder. You got actually from fair packs in return for it as well. Some of the packs, obviously you were spending more, but at the same time, at that point you were investing in the player rather than completing the whole SBC. It was a fair trade, but EA, I think, wanted to cap on that so people don't withhold coins and some players don't abuse the market so much where it just pretty much monopolizes that area. But you counteracted that by giving a rubbish players in return in league SBCs that you're going to do throughout the year, that pretty much, like I said, the players are going to be worthless. They're worthless kind of now anyway, but definitely most people will have an 87, 88 rated team by the end of next month, just because of how the game obviously changes throughout the year. There's going to be a lot more introductions. Team of the year cards are going to be dropping in quite soon as well. That's going to change the game. A lot more SBCs out there. People's want to watch will probably start increasing a lot more as well, and road to the finals. These are all factors that EA has already put in place to constantly evolve the game. So why have you done it for the SBCs, why you made the players absolutely worthless, where it's not going to be obtainable at all? The only reason why I swear I've done this is because I wanted to do a player review for my channel. But unless you're a YouTuber, or unless you got some ridiculous amount of coins to burn, I will tell you to avoid the league SBCs. They're just not worth it at all. I mean, what am I going to really do with Maya at the end of the day? I had to literally research this guy today on FUT Bin because I didn't even know what chem card I wanted to put on this fella. And it turns out Gladiator is the best card. I will obviously do a player review on him because I've bloody spent so much coins. But other than that, I'm not really going to bother with him. I can easily replace him with so much options. Like, literally, I think Sissoko's better. But the fact is, there's Informed Ndidi who looks a lot better than him. There's Team of the Year nominee Fabinho. And if I even wanted to go big bucks and get N'Golo Kante, Paul Pogba, he's not going to compete on the same level. So how is this player worth 250k? The simple answer is he's not. Because if he dropped in as an inform at that rating, I guarantee you right now, at best, he would be about 30k. So you're wasting so much coins and you don't even get decent packs in return. Literally, you get shafted on the packs at most times, but the packs, the options that you get is just absolutely poor. So I honestly, I don't know why EA has done this. It just makes no sense. There's no strategy behind this. Like I said, the only two reasons that I could think of is one, to control the market so silver players don't go up a bit more. Two, to make the player ratings fair throughout. But I've just counteracted that answer straight away by obviously addressing it, because it doesn't still make sense for it to do that, just for the reasons that, one, if you're gonna try to control the market, then players are always going to find out another way to obviously milk value for money, and most people that end up investing in silver players to purchase them is because they actually want to obtain the player because it's worth the value. And the second thing is as well, giving them that rating throughout the fair policy doesn't even do any makes any sense, because some of the leagues, like I said, only require bronze and silver players to complete, whilst other leagues, especially higher rated tier teams, require a bit more of the players that you're going to need to get hold of. So this is a classic example. Man City, you need a minimum 80 rated team. Yes, you only need 5 Man City players, but all the standard gold players in Man City are now worth just under 3k. Gabriel Jesus, which is probably a player that you need to obtain to get hold of this, is worth about 5 grand, and to be fair, that is just not great pricing whatsoever. You can see the market's already changed for the course of the SBC. So the whole reason of you doing that, people are always going to find a way to adapt and change that, and you do need a 95 rated chem, so you kind of are forced to get the players anyway to complete the SBC. Honestly, I don't think it was thought out well. Last year's decision was 10 times better. You're meant to be constantly evolving and improving the game. You're meant to be listening to community feedback, and hopefully this feedback is enough to address that. I think earlier on this year as well, Matt HD commented on one of his videos saying the whole point about Footmas is the time of the year that you need to be giving away players, and some of the SBCs were ridiculous. For some reason, as soon as that video was dropped in, I knew throughout the changes that some of the SBCs were actually adapted and turned out to be a lot more worth the money. And one of the examples were how cheap it was to get 86 rated Sissoko. That was a bargain bucket to get hold of. Modric also 92 rated. Modric wasn't bad to get hold of as well. These were all players worth adapting in the team. But I spent about 330k at least trying to get hold of the 85 rated Footmas Marcus Rashford. You can see the imbalance over there. Hopefully some of the community, like if you're like me, if you agree with what I said, then this is the way we have to change the game, because you're gonna need to kind of raise your voice up so EA doesn't kind of screw up this. The only way that I can see this not working is later on this year, hopefully soon rather than later in fact, is they update it. They introduce a third player on each one of the selection that are actually worth running in your team. I don't know who you're going to drop in. Maybe, for example, I'll just shout out there, Gabriel Jesus, great player, 87 rated Gabriel Jesus. People will pick him up. At the same time, you could probably look at League One and maybe look at Angel Di Maria, 88 rated. Doesn't need to be the same rated, but these are all great players that people are happy to run. And they might not get as informed throughout as much this year, but you can actually give them a bit of a boost by doing an SBC with them, so it's worth running in your team. These players that are recognisable, it's names of people that other community out there throughout the world actually know of, because nobody, I'm not, no offence to like these footballers in real life, but Max Meyer, unless you're a Crystal Palace fan, you don't know much about him. Same time with Foyth as well. I don't even know how to say his name, just being brutally honest. That's how I feel about that, and I think it's just one of them things. It's an absolute disappointment. They could have done a lot more better works with this, and I think these SBCs, like I said, it's just not worth it at all. Really not worth it. It's just been a letdown. So hopefully they can improve it again. Like I said, maybe they need to do an update soon. That's the only way they're gonna save the league SBCs. But FIFA 21 shouldn't be like this. FIFA 21 needs to go back to how they did it on FIFA 19, because that method worked fantastically and nobody complained about that as well. No one actually raised an alarm for that. Anyway, guys, like I said, share your thoughts, comment below. If you feel like I am in the right over here, then obviously put your opinions down. I might be wrong. I might be just one guy ranting on, but I am a fan of squad builders. Like, everyone has their own little juices in the game. I love doing squad builders. now and then I try to do obviously the feature objectives just so I can get a bit more packs and players. These are things that motivate me on the game. Other people love squad battles, just getting done in squad battles. Some people just live for rivals on the weekend league. Some people just want to buy and sell players. And there are players that just want to open pack up and spend a ridiculous amount of money. But that's the thing. EA has designed this game to fit a lot of different criterias. And I think right now, one of my criteria has been impacted, which is obviously squad builder challenges, squad builders. I don't think it's worth it. These league SBCs in my eyes just have been a disappointment, and I just want to express that. Like I said, that is just me getting my thoughts off my off my chest. Really, that's it. Yo guys, I want to say obviously massive appreciation. I didn't think I'll do another video just before obviously 2020 began, but you know what, new year ahead, we're going to be doing a lot more FIFA 20 content. Obviously Max Myers, definitely a player review I want to get out there soon. Maybe I might get that done and dusted by tomorrow. Other videos I'm going to be dropping out throughout this week as well. I'm going to be quite busy on this channel. And then yeah, this month, let's just see how far we get in January. So close to that 1,000 subscribers. Just want to say a massive shout out to the new subscribers that have come on over here. Guys, I really do appreciate that you've come on board. It's obviously it's just a click for you, but it gets the name out there. Once I get 1,000 subscribers, it kind of boosts it up. Monetization comes in. I'll probably earn $1, like $1 every year. But you know what? I'll buy a Freddo with that, people. So yeah, it's one of those things, peeps. Anyway, guys, it's been your lad DJ Wacky. I'll see you all next time. Peace up. Group A, we got Club Berg. Yeah. I don't know. It's a freaking Belgian
They've
club.
lost anyway.